Using database no-code tools like SmartSuite or Airtable are fantastic when you want to keep all of your information in one place. But what happens when you need to send some information from that database to somewhere else? There are lots of different reasons you may want to send this information, whether it be sending things out to generate invoices, having to send reports to clients, or if you're like me, you're just a very lazy person that wants to compile all the ingredients that they're cooking on a weekly basis. So when they go to the grocery store, they just have to go one time. That's where Make.com, formerly Integromat, comes into play with no code. It's a very powerful tool that allows you to process and filter data through particular filters, arrays, and other data terms that you may or may not be familiar with. So if you're new to Make and new to integrating no-code tools together, I want to show you in this part 1 video how to set up a Mailhook so that you can quickly and directly send information to additional automations that can be done through other no-code tools to begin compiling and extracting data. So if you want to learn more about how to get this started, you've come to the right place. How's it going? This is Eric with SolveCycle Solutions. We are a no-code agency that is here to help save you time and energy by reducing the work that you hate so that you can focus on the stuff that you love. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use a special tool called a Mailhook, which allows you to email information to no-code solutions like Make that will allow you to find specific information in SmartSuite to begin additional automation information conversion. This may sound pretty fancy, but I think once you watch through this video, you will get the gist of it and see the potential of using some incredible software like Make. Now, just to FYI, this will be part 1 of a part 2 video that I'm showing as a general tech demo and how you can use Make to compile large amounts of data into one list so that it is easy for you to navigate and quickly find what you need all in one spot. But before I go into that, I do want to invite you to some free consultations. That's right, I'm offering free 30-minute consultations in the description of this video. And all you have to do is just click the link, book the time that you want. And if it is something that you're trying to figure out how no code can work with your business, if you're stuck on a particular solution, or if you are just inspired and want to learn more about what no code is and see how this can change the way you think and work, then feel free to set some time to chat with me. I'd love to hear from you. The link is in the description, or you can head to solvecyclesolutions.com/30-minutes. Now we have that housekeeping out of the way, let's hop back into SmartSuite just because I want to show a couple of brief data schema points that we need to make sure that we have to send this automation information over to Make. If you're a little confused or want to get the full build of this setup, you can take a look at this playlist that I'm adding to the top of this video that will catch you up on everything that you need to start building this and implementing this in your solution. So the main things that we need for our weekly grocery list are a title that has a specific couple of unique pieces of information. In this case, I just put weekly grocery list with the date that I intend to go grocery shopping. We have our status here, which we will be using the gather ingredients status to fire off the automation that will transmit the data from SmartSuite into Make. And then we also have a linked record set up between our recipe index and our grocery list. So currently we have a couple of different recipes here, but I can also open this up and we can add some additional items here and then hit link. And this information, if we go into our recipe database, you can pull up here and see that we have a title and we have our list of ingredients set up as a checklist. So this is the information that we're looking to extract from our recipes and put that into our grocery list. The other thing that you do need, and I will expand this record here, is we have an additional checklist under the weekly grocery list for our complete shopping list. And currently that is blank, but by the end of these 2 videos, you will see this is completely filled. We will need to hop into Make before we can do the final automation function here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Make, which there is also a link in the description for both SmartSuite and Make if you're curious in trying this out or building along with me. So be sure to check those out. The main function of Make is to help move information from one software and be able to convert it into a presentable data or trigger or information point in another system. Sometimes it can be done through, you can have information. In this case, what we're doing is actually pulling information out from multiple different facets, consolidating it, and putting it into one location in the same software. It has the ability to do a lot more advanced functions than what SmartSuite is capable of. So for these particular instances, this is a fantastic tool to be able to sift through large amounts of data. And there's also a lot more that this video doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what you can do with Make. So be sure to play around with this a lot on your own to see what apps you have and what information may be of use to you. There is so much here to dive into that I'll be talking about in videos to come. On this homepage, you can see here that there's a lot of information that don't have to worry about too much about right now. I will go more in depth on this in future videos, but for now, what you can do is in the upper right-hand corner here, you can click this Create Scenario. First, I'm going to, in the left corner over here where it says New Scenario, I'm going to double click and it's going to highlight everything. So I'm going to label this just to help with my organization because everything is going to be listed as New Scenario. So please, for the sake of your own sanity, go ahead and start labeling these as soon as you get into a new scenario. In my case, I'm just putting test grocery compiler. Now, a couple things just keep in mind. You will have to take a couple of extra steps to link your services together. So in this case, you're just going to have to use SmartSuite, but there are some things that it may take a little extra time. So feel free to pause the video as you're getting this set up. I have this already set up in this software, so it may look a little different going through, but once you are logged in and grant access to Make, you'll be able to build along with me. So you see this huge animated cursor that's clicking, encouraging you to get started. So if you click this plus button, you'll see there is a massive list of different apps and solutions that you can use inside of Make. It's pretty impressive, but it can be a little difficult to consolidate or search for what you're looking for. So at the very bottom, you should see this search applications. And so here you can type in everything that you're going to need to try log into. But the first thing we actually need to get set up for our trigger in this automation, which is going to be the instant that Make recognizes that this automation needs to run, is we're going to be setting up something called a Mailhook. A Mailhook is basically allowing us to send an email from a location that will go to a very specific email address that Make will recognize as the only way to fire this automation off. We are able to extract information from that email and then have that automation run on its own. So when you enter Mailhook, it's going to pull up webhooks, which is exactly what we're looking for. And you're going to hit Custom Mailhook. Now, you can either select a list of previous Mailhooks that you may have set up, or you can click Add. And in this case, I'm going to write this as Test Mailhook, and then hit Save. And then what you'll see here is that this is creating a long, confusing chain email address. You can click the copy address to clipboard and hit OK. Once we have this information, we're going to hop back into SmartSuite. So what we're going to do is we are going to start an automation. So when we mark the status of this particular grocery list as gathering ingredients, SmartSuite will know to send an email to that specific Mailhook, knowing that we have to start this automation. So we see our previous automations that we built in another video with syncing the groceries to the meal plan list, as well as helping our repetitive meal plan calendar move forward. But in this case, at the very bottom, we're going to click this button that says Add Automation. Once we open that up, we're going to say Mailhook or send grocery list Mailhook. And then we're going to hit Add Trigger. And this is going to be the specific trigger inside of SmartSuite that lets the system know to send this email off. So it's not sending off an email every single day or every single minute. It's just going to send it when certain conditions are met. That's what we're looking for here. So we'll click on that, and you'll see where the table is already organized to weekly grocery list, which is exactly what we want. When you see the conditions, it's always going to pull up as the title. And you can see that it's asking for like if it contains certain information. That's not what we're looking to do. We're going to change this specific field that we're looking to monitor from the title to the status. And what we're going to set this to be equal to is gathering ingredients. So once a record inside of our weekly grocery list is changed to gathering ingredients, we then have the ability to send an action to accomplish whatever we're trying to do. In this case, we can send an email. And all we have to do is take that long email chain that we just copied from Make and paste it into the send to. Now, the subject, you don't have to put a lot of information. This isn't you're trying to reach out to someone with a catchy headline. Then we're actually just going to enter title here. And so now that we have this record ID set up, we are required to put something in the message, but we don't really need to worry about what's in the message. So you could just put a simple message, and we're going to save this automation. So now I'm going to run a test on the Mailhook so I can start getting the initial information I need and to make sure that this automation is working. So first, I'm going to select this run this module only, and this is going to run until a Mailhook is received. So I'm going to hop back into SmartSuite, and I'm going to trigger the initial automation that is to gather the ingredients. So when I click this, it's going to fire off that email directly to Make. And look at that. Just a couple of seconds of waiting, but you can see here that the weekly grocery list was added. And so we have everything that we need to get started with this automation inside of Make. Now, the next step that we're going to do is select SmartSuite, and what we're going to look for is Find Records. So I'm going to click that option, and what this will allow me to do is search inside of a specific solution and table. So in this case, we're going to set the test zone, and then we're going to select the table that we're looking for. Now, you would think that initially we're looking for the weekly grocery list, but we're actually going to search recipes instead, because what we want to do is we want to find all of the recipes that are connected to our weekly grocery list linked record. So what this means is that we're going to put the subject in the search value, and this is going to look at inside of our recipes any recipe that is listed in the grocery list with weekly grocery list 2/26. Once that information is found, Make is going to put in a list of called an output, which is showing bundles of all of the recipe cards that we are working with. The last two things you can do on this specific module, you can limit the number of searches that you're looking for. So in this case, I'm just setting this to 10. Depending on how many recipes you're looking at on a weekly basis, or if you're trying to search for more information on something else. Just know that there is a limit to 200 items that can be found through this particular search function. So that may be a limitation for you depending on how much information you're looking for, but for most people, this should be pretty sufficient. Now, the other thing that you can modify on your own is asking if this is a success when nothing is found. So for us, I'm going to say no, because that means that there is an error going on, and Make will send a notification saying, hey, something went wrong. So, but if you hit yes, you will also be able to ask to create a record inside of SmartSuite. So this is a pretty great function for adding additional information conditionally if nothing is found. But in our case, I'm just going to hit no and leave it at that and hit OK. Now, what I can do is I can open these results that were found and highlight the weekly grocery list title in the subject. I can copy that. And then what I can do is, if I want to test this next step, I can go into SmartSuite, right-click, hit Run this module only, and then I can paste a subject line that I want to use for this test. So I'm going to hit the test here, give it a minute for SmartSuite to be done. Now, look at this. You see how this output has all of these individual bundles that are coming up with so much additional information. In this case, these are the individual recipe records inside of our recipe index. Now, you can see I can close all of these, and you'll see that we have the 6 that we were originally looking to collect. But you can also dive into this a little deeper. You can see information it says followed by, which isn't relevant, but what we're looking for are ingredients. And you can see that I can click in here, and it shows item description as lettuce, grilled chicken, dressing, mayo, salt, and olive oil for this recipe titled chicken salad. So as you can see, there is a ton of value in just having the potential of being able to pull information from SmartSuite and put it into a system like Make. Now, this particular video just was focusing on the webhooks and how to get them set up to trigger automations and send data to a different system like Make. You could also probably apply a similar function to Zapier, which is also a similar data extractor and mover. But the most important thing here is seeing how you can get this set up. In the next video that will be coming out, I will be showing you what to do with this information inside of Make. And in that case, I'm going to be compiling the information that coming from all these different records and putting them into one large ingredient grocery list. So I can put that back into my SmartSuite grocery record, and then I can then look at everything that I need and delete the things I don't need, and then add that to my shopping list when I go to the grocery store. I hope you got a ton of value out of this, and I know I may have gone a bit quickly trying to explain all the different functions in Make and trying to set up these automations. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments of this video, or also don't forget that you do have the ability to book a free 30-minute consultation with me to get these specific items set up. So if you were following along and got stuck along the way, let me know and I can help troubleshoot or help build out a system like this for you. So in the meantime, that's all I have to say regarding this video, and stay tuned for part 2. Take care. Bye.